Good day, folks. Today I'd like to talk to you about something that happened this past week, and that is the debate between Bill Nye and Ken Ham of the Creation Museum. Now, the debate over the viability of creationism as a scientific theory has diverged into a whole debate over religion in general. So I thought in this video I would talk to you about my lack of religion and why I'm an atheist, and my thoughts overall on the debate. Now, with Ken Ham, I would say just about everything he had to say was utter bullshit. Now, I'm not saying this from a biased perspective, but Ken Ham absolutely insists that historical science is not real viable science or scientific proof. He is suggesting that just because data exists now, such data cannot be used to talk about the past. I completely disagree with that. Let's look at gravity. Gravity has remained constant. It is the same today as it was yesterday and the day before that. It's going to be, the same tomorrow. We all know that. For all of recorded history, we know that gravity has stayed the same. And we know that time is a dimension of our universe. So if we were to plot gravity on a graph with gravity and time being the axes, you would see that it plots in a linear fashion, meaning gravity is a function of time. Therefore, as a law of physics, gravity is true for now, as it will be for the future, but also for the past. It is a typical proof. Physics is the laws of the universe. Mathematics is the language in which these laws are written. And there is a mathematical proof that gravity is the same for now, tomorrow, yesterday, and everything in between, from the beginning of the universe to the end of the universe. The laws of nature cannot be broken. They are eternal. And to suggest that they are not, that's utter bullshit. This leads me to another argument about religion. Ken Ham has admitted that the basis for his position is the Bible. Well, that immediately disqualifies creationism as a viable science, because his model requires a prerequisite that you accept a supernatural being. But supernatural, by definition, is beyond nature. Science is the study of nature. And with this prerequisite of the supernatural in his position, it disqualifies everything he has to say as a scientific theory, because that is not science. Supernatural is beyond nature, and when you inject the supernatural, you just cannot explain it with science. Therefore, it is not science. Now let's talk about why I'm an atheist. I prefer to look at things objectively and consider everything with reason. There is nothing to suggest a supernatural being is responsible for the creation of the universe. There's just simply no evidence. As I said, the position in which you have to believe in a creator, you have to have the prerequisite of believing the supernatural, which is beyond our natural world. Now let's look at the Bible. The Bible in many times has referenced a flat earth. We obviously know that the earth is not flat. So if a supposedly infallible book has one thing discredited, it automatically calls into question the entire book. Let's move on to creationists. They pretty much say that if I cannot produce every single fossil that has ever existed, then, they cannot prove evolution. Well, the burden of proof you assign to be so high so that it can never be essentially proven, because some fossils do not last. It's not very logical. You set the bar so high with the intention of trying to discredit science because you know for certain, and everybody knows for certain, that nothing lasts forever, especially fossils. It's not very rational thinking. It's more of a defensive measure. So, why am I making this video? Why am I all of a sudden talking about my atheism? Why am I all of a sudden talking about why I think religious arguments are BS? Well, it's because of the Ken Ham debate. Personally, I am the live and let live type person. I believe that anybody should be able to believe whatever the hell they want, and no one should ever get in the way of that. But then I see the ignorance that is Ken Ham's position that creationism need to be taught in schools, even though it has been time and time again proven not to be science. He has an agenda. His agenda is to promote his religious beliefs. But the thing is, science classes should be teaching science, not religion. Religion, that should stay in Sunday schools. And he believes, and many other creationists believe, that God is a prerequisite for knowledge. They believe that not only is it necessary for knowledge, it's also necessary for peace and intelligence. And Ham even suggested that if all scientists or inventors are atheists, they would never put together the next great thing because they'd just throw spare parts together and try to watch it naturally assemble. Now that is an absolute insult to the intelligence of the human race. Well, some of the human race. There are some dumbasses out there. But with that aside, to suggest that people need God to do great things is not true. People do it because of their compassion, their curiosity. They want to learn, they want to help others. So they build things to improve learning or to improve the lives of others. Sometimes there's a greed factor because they want to improve the lives of themselves. And that's perfectly okay. But society as a whole, we don't do it because of God or because God tells us to. We do it because of our innate curiosity, our desire to learn, our desire to help others, the desire to build community. And that is not dependent upon a deity. Well, folks, that's all I have to say for today. If you like what I have to say, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. I hope you learned something from what I have to say today, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care.